back, guys. I'm Mellowseven. This is Football Manager 2018, and we are with HBK, Køge in Denmark. So, since our last spectacular loss, man, life's been interesting since then. Life has been interesting. We only keep our general manager for 43 more days, by the way, notice. I don't see a need to get rid of him, but we've almost completed one promise. All right, let's take a look how it's gone. So we were here for this one, which was our 2-3 loss in extra time. We followed that up with a 0-0 draw. Now you can see here, Sorensen was sent off in the 60th minute. So this, because I talked smack about the refs for the last one, the refs decided to take over this game too. 3 of these 4 yellows were their first yellow of the season. So clearly they're not dirty players. And he gave all of them within just a couple minute period, to be honest, probably 10 minutes. He also gave 4 to the other team, 2 to the same guy. So that was just a ref who liked to give out cards for no apparent reason, as far as I can tell. This sending off was a challenged header. They both went into the air at the same time. The little text at the bottom said he threw an elbow. Now, if it's something that the game animates and actually shows, then it didn't happen. Arm stayed straight the whole time while he was up. If it's not something they animate, well, then there's no way for me to know if it happened or not. But certainly didn't appear to happen. And I thought, well, that's fine. He's out. Matthias Anderson, turns out it's a 2-game suspension. And as you can see here from this 2-1, Matthias Anderson got sent off in the 36th minute. So he's out for 2 games as well. So on top of our injuries, I've now got 2 suspensions due to red cards. Now, we did somehow win this game. I'm not really sure how, to be honest. We got one early. Then he got sent off, and I thought, hell. And then they got one, and I went, hell. But then we snuck one back here, 81st minute. We didn't play badly, to be honest, after that, without him. We just moved the attacking mid-center back to the defensive spot. Now, interestingly enough, when we look at our tactics, it doesn't consider that guy still to be there. It considers us as having played 5 people in back, even though one of them suspended. So we actually have 107 minutes played right here. This is played a man down in those 2 games. They consider a 5-4-1 because, well, we had 5 people in defense. Just one of them was suspended. So I thought that was an interesting little kind of bug, quirk, whatever it may be. But, I mean, as you can see, we gave up 3 chances. Didn't have any, but that's over 107 minutes playing a man down. So I don't think that's terrible. Oops, that's not what we're looking for at all. Anyway, then it kind of started to go off the rails here. So now we had nobody left to play defense, at least not much. We brought Josip back. He's still injured, but he was all we had. So he played injured and picked up a yellow. We've been playing Kasper Bisgaard as well, the youngster. He's picked up a yellow, 6-1 for Hagel. Hagel had a couple 6-1s in a row. He was pretty horrible. And Miklic got injured again in this match as well. So we brought in Christensen. And we scored a lot of goals, but they scored more goals. We'll see how much of a pain Jello decides to be this morning. She's just hopped up on the table. So, little disappointing. We followed that up. Nijkerkbing FC, they were up to, I think, 4th place at this point. This is a team we should be able to comfortably beat. But again, we started to get people back here. You can see we've got Sorensen back. We've got Kolosik back. So we've got our defense back. You can also notice I've got Michael Kramer back here instead of Hagel. My personal assistant sent me a message that said Hagel was struggling with the pressure of first-team football. So clearly the game hasn't found out a way to actually tell you about some of those hidden stats. Some of you just have to, you don't know why he's performing badly. Apparently his pressure stat isn't very good. Might be worth looking at some point. Maybe at the end of the season we'll look at the hiddens. Anyway, so we've taken him out. He'll just be a backup from now on because I can't. He's actually a better defense player than Kramer. I mean, we've looked at the stats and Kramer's a little bit better going forward, but Hagel's better everywhere else. So it's just a pressure thing, but we just can't live with him putting up 6-1s over and over and over back there. So anyway, we got Bond back for this one as well. We got Vogelmuth. They were only supposed to be good for like 45 minutes, but, and you can see we put Hauser in. and Hassan in for them later in the game. I've promised Hassan some time off the bench. He's not very good, but he thinks he is because he plays for his team's Olympic or international team. Unfortunately, he's also one of the 4 that we have registered as one of our homegrown club players. So it's hard just to drop him. But I did notice that we have a homegrown club player that we did not register at the time, and that's Pierre, who right here, Pierre Karsgaard, our other. And I'd like to register him. Jello, I'm sorry, baby, but I don't need any help right now. She thinks the mouse pad is a cat bed. And that the hands shouldn't be on mice. They should be on her, petting her. Anyway, unfortunately, it won't let me register at the moment. But hopefully, when the transfer window rolls around, we can dump Hassan. And we'll, because he thinks he should be a starter. And we'll register Pierre. To give you an idea real fast, you can see where's Hassan. Here he is, Ahmed Hassan right here. 2 stars, 2-star potential. So by far the worst player on our team. Tied for the current but with no potential. He's not going to get better. And this is what he looks like right now. He's got a little bit of speed, and he's got good dribbling and first touch. So on a lower level team, he'd be spectacular for us. But at this level, not so much. So anyway, and then we followed up with AC Horsens. Again, first in the league, but we've got our team back. I mean, this is it. This is the first one that we really had everybody back. And of course, Michael Kramer got injured in this one as well. So injuries have been a thing. But you can see Bond's back, 8.9. Miklic got a hat trick. Excuse me. So we'll be okay. And in this one was the one that we put Pierre in, and he was injured. And he's out for 4 months. So we've lost Pierre for 4 months, 4 to 5 months, I think, at this point. This game, let's look at this. Let's look at the highlights for this game, because if you want to see some horrendous, we talked about goalkeepers not being fixed. In fact, I sat our goalkeeper at the moment. He's sitting. I've since then looked and realized that half the games he started have been shutouts. So maybe I shouldn't be so hasty, but I've seen in the last couple games, well, the last game you guys watched, he let in some horrendous goals where he's lying on the ground before the ball gets there. And in this one, he does the same. But nothing compared to what their goalkeeper does at one point in this one. Let's see, is it going to load today for us? A little slow this morning. It's early in the morning for me. Not super early, but early-ish. So Bond going up the edge here. We'll just look at the goals on this one. Miklic, pretty standard. That's what we've been missing, right? Bond feeding into Miklic for the header. Larson boots, I think this is the one where their goalie makes a mistake. Yeah. So Jensen gets it, feeds into the goalie, who then tries to do this circle kick through the goal rather than just kicking it out. Or picking it, just grabbing it, right? That was terrible. Miklic squeezes one through there. I mean, it's the worst goalkeeper flub I've seen. And I've seen some bad goalkeeper flubs, but that was pretty terrible. Miklic over to Bjorn. Bjorn's played pretty well over here, and he's going to have to, because he's going to have to be the starter now if we move Kramer back to pick up the slack for Hagel. So I think this is the one where we give. And watch, you'll see our goalkeeper, you'll see Filipic go down. He lays down, and then they kick the ball over the top of him. He was in position. He just decided to lay down. So scintillating goalkeeper play in this match. Absolutely scintillating. And that one bounces around a few times before Miklic is able to put that one away. But yeah, I don't even know. So it's been an adventure since you guys left. I mean, we've got 2 wins, a draw, 2 losses. Like I say, we did finish second in the first period, and you do get paid apparently every period. I wasn't sure if we were going to, so I got like 235. Although interestingly enough, even though it said that, it doesn't actually show up here. I mean, we've only got an overall balance of 433. It should jump up to here when we got that 233 or whatever, but no difference at all to our overall balance. So I don't know if we don't get it till the end of the season. We're awarded it, but it doesn't actually show up on our bank till everything's done with. That's my only guess. So we've got Thisted today. Thisted has not won a game all season. You can see right here, 0-6 and 8, minus 14 goal differential to go with our positive 14 goal differential. They've been horrible. We're mostly healthy. Like I said, we are going to be down here for 2 to 3 months. That's right. I sent him to the doctor, the specialist. So hopefully that'll, I think 4 to 5 was the initial. And we paid the extra, 200 pounds or whatever it was for a specialist. Because that's what specialist costs, I have a cousin who's supposedly one of the top 10 orthopedic surgeons in the nation. And I don't think that's what he charges. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that's not what orthopedic surgeons charge for sports injuries. And coincidentally enough, he was the international U.S. men's team's physician for a number of years, for a couple World Cups anyway. All right, so cattail shouldn't hopefully interfere with us too much. This is the team we've got up here. We got Bjorn up front, Kramer in back, Bon and Buss, Sorensen and Kolasek in back, Larson and Vogelmuth up front, and Lindstrom and Miklich up front. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on here. Match preview. We haven't looked at the stat pack for a little while, so let's go ahead and take a look, see what that says. Against the top half of the table, we're 3-2-3. I think that makes sense. Against the bottom half of the table, we're 4-0-1, which is spectacular. When we score first, we win. 7-1-1. When we don't score first, 0-1-3. So, 18 games since this did last had a win. 1 game since we last had a defeat. Scored allowed, obviously 0 games since we scored, 0 games since we allowed. So we're not on a shutout streak and we're not on a goalless streak either. If we look down here, we have had a 4-0 win, some 3-1, a 4-1, a 2-0. We've done pretty well. And we've had 1-2-4 defeat, but we haven't really been blown out. They have had a 1-4 defeat and a 1-3 defeat, some 0-2s. They're not getting destroyed each game. They're just not winning. And that's what it comes down to, right? They're just not winning. So, let's see what we got going on here. Now, that AC Horsens match that we won, a little bit misleading. They'd played a game 3 days before, so they were tired. I don't know if that means they were still in the cup. So maybe they played 2. That was their 3rd game, maybe in 8 days, or within the week or something like that. It's entirely possible that they were tired and having to play a rotated team. But we'll take it. We'll take it. Interesting, you can go to under tactics and analysis. You can look to see how your speeches do. Some of these speeches that he gives, they said are beginning to get old. So you do need to mix it up a little bit. But it'll say things like appreciates positive reinforcement, or beginning to get old, or whatever it may be. We can take a look at it after this one. After this match, we'll go look. All right. So let's see. Are we going to give up a goal in the first, on the kickoff to a bad team again? We've done that this season. I'm not too upset with that, to be honest. At the end of the highlight. But they did get a shot out of it. It was a long shot. We have controlled possession so far, 5 minutes in, but we haven't got a shot so far, which is a little bit disappointing. I mean, we're 10 minutes in and no shot yet. There we go, finally. It was a half chance, so, I mean, it was a decent chance, decent shot at least. Both of our shots now have been on target. Both have been half chances. So looking up, we haven't been able to get anything going, but it looks like we're finally getting... That one was not on target. Let's see, can we get something here? I'd like to get a goal early and kind of shut this down. Buss feeds it all the way up to... he was going for Bjorn. Bjorn manages to recover it after the header. Miklich is there, right on the post. Oh, my God. Goalkeeper was so far out. He was out here, it looked like. He misread that. Oh, and they disallowed it. He was offsides. He might have been behind the goalkeeper. He's not... no, still not offsides. Not offsides. Offsides. Just snuck across. Ah, well. 3 half chances, 3 shots. We're close. We just haven't quite broke through yet. This should be a blowout game, realistically. 3-1, 2-0, something like that. But, we can see we've given up 4 shots and a half chance here. And, yeah, a pretty boring match so far, aside from the fact that we're not doing anything. Bond's been playing great out there on the edge. 7-8, 7-0 down here. We're up to 9 shots, 6 half chances. I mean, that's a chance to shot ratio that's spectacular, but on a goal to shot ratio, it's pretty poor. You can see we are still in second place at the moment. 2 points up over, I always have trouble with this, Nykerbing. I always mix up the B's and the K's. And they are winning over Horsens at the moment, so that's not too shabby. So if we can pull out a win here, we would equal, we'd be, and they can get a win. And they've been good, and Horsens has been on a little bit of a dip lately, so challenge them. I think we're going to say, still win this. Let's do something different. We'll see what they say if we check the analysis on this one. We didn't get a reaction, so clearly it didn't work. All right. Come on, guys. This is it. This is the goal we need. No, apparently it's not. Let's do maybe a get creative. 10 shots, 7 on target, 6 of them were half chance. I mean, that's spectacular, but just nothing's going in. And their goalkeeper, and Kramer's injured again. And their goalkeeper only has a 6.9. How is that possible? Yeah, I mean, we've put 7 shots on goal, 6 of which are chances. He stopped them all, and they only have a 6.9 for him. I mean, that's just insane. I don't. And when we were up 5-1, they'd had 1 shot against Horsens, the terrible goal that our goalkeeper let in, Filipovic. Come on, this is it. This is it. Get that header. Oh, it went off the post. It's still in, though. It's still in play. Come on. What? Why was that a free kick? Was he offsides again? Anyway, so where our goalkeeper gave up the only shot on goal all game because he was lying down, they rated him a 7.1. He had 1 goal to play, 1 shot all game, and he was laying down when it happened, and they gave him a 7.1. This guy is working his butt off. I cannot believe we have not got a goal here. Beat up to Bjorn. There we... Oh, my God, Bond, how are we missing these? Oh, jeez. 12 shots, 7 on target, 1 off the woodwork, 2 clear cuts, 6 half chances, and we don't have a goal. We clearly need better finishing up front next year. And now Lindstrom's picked up a knock, and our backup for him's out for 2 to 3 months. It's on the shin. That's why you wear shin pads, guys. This is not a goal because there's just not enough time left, but I don't know how we didn't win this. I don't know how this isn't a 3-0 blowout. We just cannot finish. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I don't know what more we have to do to set up our frontline players. Yeah, disappointing. I think we're going to go assertive. That was not good enough. And it's not these guys, right? They didn't allow any goals. They created chances. It's these guys, who just can't score. I mean, we see right there 6.2 for Miklic. Man, that was bad. That was horrible. All right. Kramer, 8 to 11 days. We're going to use the doctor because I don't want to play Hagel anymore. And put aside their usual poor discipline. So normally they score lots or they got 2 yellows. I mean, it wasn't. They felt considerably aggrieved by it. Not so much. He was offsides. When we saw I was aggrieved, but not because we were offsides, but because we screwed up. A series of fouls that allowed neither team to get in there. We were in our groove. We just couldn't score. 2 to 3 days. That's good. We can live with that. Shines. He didn't shine. 7 key passes. 89%. Okay. 8.5. At least he was back in. I'm going to say passing. There we go. Man, that's frustrating. All right, let's go and look and see how our, just because we haven't looked at it, we want to show all these things. So if we come here, we can go pep talk feedback. And you can see pre-match, he gave him pick up where you left off, seem motivated, listen keenly. Nobody's upset about that one. Appreciate the encouraging feedback. Okay, so that one's still good. And then you can go here to halftime. We can win this. Nothing. No. Didn't care about it in any way, shape, or form. And full time. Fired up. Appreciated the critical feedback. Felt the poor performance justified the pep talk. Oh wait, so that one worked. So they were all good with that. If we go, do we see whether people? Yeah, and we see PR here. So player reacted well to your latest chat. So not too bad. Okay. I didn't do any subs that time. I would like to continue to work Nielsen in. He's played well, 7.3 in his 7 games in. He creates 1.65 chances. Bond creates 1.26 chances, but he has 6 assists and 5 goals. 2 and 4, 2 assists and 4 goals for Nielsen and 7. So they haven't been that far off. In fact, it looks like Nielsen's scoring a little bit higher clip per game because he's played 7 versus 5 for Bond. But despite creating more chances, Bond has actually created more goals with 6 assists. So maybe about a double the pace. 25 key passes versus 18 key headers. They both played very well. That's the long and the short of it. Not upset with either of them in. So yeah, that's the match. We will be back with another one at some point. I'm probably going to put it down here for a few days. This should get me up through, I'm hoping this video goes up the day after Christmas. I hope you guys had a spectacular Christmas, by the way. I'm recording this the 21st, so I'm a little bit ahead at the moment, but I wanted to get this one recorded while I still remembered what happened through that run of games. I'll put it down, maybe pick it up over the weekend and play next week's game, finish up next week then. In case you're wondering about comments or suggestions, I really have been trying to record these a little closer to as the day they go up, but man, I'm enjoying it so much right now. It's hard to just sit down and then wait another day to play it. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I'm certainly enjoying this team specifically. Specifically? It doesn't sound right, but I don't know what else it could have been. So we're going to go with that. We're going to pretend that's a word, and hopefully it is. And we'll see you guys next time. Merry Christmas. Cheers.